about that last one. It was pretty darn good. Alright guys, let's introduce our players. To the bottom right hand side is going to be our red Terran player. It's going to be Polt. And to the top left is going to be our yellow Zerg player, Xigua. If you guys are looking for the music I'm playing today is right from the top of my playlist. So it's the most recently added stuff, so it should be pretty easy to find on the playlist. If you're looking for it, if you want that playlist, exclamation mark music into the chat. Looking forward to this match. Xigua was 2-0 so far today. He took down Yishi 2-1 and Belai 2-0, so let's see how on point his ZVT is going to be. And yeah, let's see if you can take down Polt. He's taken down Polt in a previous Leifeng Cup group, if I'm not mistaken, way back when, a few Leifeng Cups ago. So, interested to see how this is going to go, see if he can do it again. And I kind of had a hard time believing that he can after watching Polt play one of the craziest comebacks. I mean, it wasn't one of the craziest. It's kind of silly because it's like, in a way, you sort of look at it and you sort of think, well, you know what? I can kind of imagine that, Polt might be able to come back from this and make it work. Like, it's a long stretch, but you can sort of see it maybe being a possibility. So, I'm going to get set up into this, guys. Let's see what Polt is going to do for a build order. It's going to be a second Rax very early on, so changing up from... changing up quite heavily from what we're going to be seeing him do against Belai. Against Belai, both games, he went for that fast tank opening. As we're just going to be seeing the second Rax being added on. And so he's going to go for a very fast stim drop here on Apotheosis, and I'm interested to see what the follow-up will be. Yesterday in Total Biscuits Sharkcraft Kings, we saw multiple times innovation using this kind of tank drop play. Not tank drop play, kind of this sort of build order into tanks, which on this map is very good when your opponent takes a fast gold base like this. So you can drop these tanks down over here. So it's going to be seeing this group of Lings chasing down the Reaper, and Reaper is starting to take a little bit of damage here and there. I'm just going to be seeing the factory dropping down and a tech lab coming down the barracks as well. So everything just getting set up as we'd expect it to for Polt to go into this early aggressive build order here on Apotheosis. Interesting to see this map coming through the map vetoes. Intrigued to see what Polt maybe did veto instead of Apotheosis, because I generally think Zergs have a pretty good time on this map. So I wonder what he would have vetoed instead, especially considering he didn't veto New Gettysburg last time around. So maybe he, I don't know, maybe he changed his mind, vetoed New Gettysburg this time. I'm not sure. Anyways, we're going to be seeing, early on this orbital command is about to finish up from Polt. We're just going to be seeing him dropping a mule, another SCV, getting ready for this starport to start building in the very near future, just waiting for the minerals for that to come through. And then Polt will be able to add the starport, add the reactor onto the factory, and he is getting set up, ready to go into. So a lot of Lings coming across the map, and plenty of Marines here to defend, so them Lings not going to do much, even when speed kicks in. They're not going to be doing too much. As we're going to be seeing a stopwatch just being added on a few drones and a third hatchery as well from Xigua. Obviously this gold base to begin with is nice. He's heavily oversaturated on those. 17 workers is 5 more than he needs. And I guess just because he's already saturated his main base too, so it's a little bit weird. And I guess he can pull those away towards the natural when it finishes up. So a few too many drones right now. I guess as he takes some extra gases and so on, it might help out. Obviously, he gets some extra income from... Ooh, but actually spending the scan to pick off the Overlord. He gets some extra income from having more than 12 drones on this, but it's very much so diminished compared to going up to 12, so not necessarily the best. As we're going to be seeing this group of units getting ready to go, so Marines collecting together, and the Ling is just, again, looking to kind of maybe counterattack, push on through against this, as Polt's just sitting nearby, and the medevac's on the way out. That's what we're waiting for. And Sim, of course, will come up behind this. We see double engineering bay as a follow-up too, so Polt just going into the very standard sort of follow-up, which is the kind of double engineering bay, not going to go for a tank-based follow-up despite the gold base of his opponent. I'm intrigued, because obviously Polt's going to load up a lot of his units here. He'll actually lose one Marine behind. Actually, was he just full anyways? He was just full anyways. Polt's actually going to come back. This is kind of weird, because, I mean, Polt should know that these things are going to do exactly this, like try and buy time like this. Let's see, I'm just trying to buy a little bit more time. That depot, if it finishes, would be nice, but am I going to burrow? Actually, will be enough to kind of threaten and push this away. As you see, being nest on the way up. Looks as though Xigua might be thinking about going for kind of a big kind of Baneling-based, Baneling-bust counter-attack, although he's adding on a few more drones once again, as these Marines continue to come up towards the top side. And again, just going to see this Overlord continuing to take some more damage. You're going to see the Zerglings running in once again, and again, just going to be pushed back. So Ling's just going to push back here, and well, from the low ground, I'm pretty sure these Marines could fight against a couple of things here if they wanted to. They're going to come around, they're going to find a Queen, the rest of the Queen's coming in as well, doesn't get any of those Queen kills, obviously. Pulls one of his medevacs back, has to pull them both back now. Still step away from the Marines a little bit further, and a lone drone going out. He's actually going to come in, he's actually going to kill off a Queen there towards the end too. Oh no, he's going to kill the rocks! That's actually huge, because now he can go in and maybe just drop over towards the other side of that. There's a Spore Crawler there, but that's about it. No more reinforcements from that gold base either, not easily anyways. So you're going to see Queens continue to drop, a couple more Lings coming in. These Marines are going to go down, I think. The last medevac saves a few of the Marines. So a few of the Marines managed to get away here. You're going to see another command center coming down as the third base. Polt with another medevac of units coming across, and I love the fact he killed off these rocks. That's so frustrating. Although he's not really going to abuse it in any way, shape, or form just yet. As you see a couple of drones kind of out of position over here. You can see Lings thinking about looking around. I mean, they can come around the side, but it just takes so much longer to get there. Because we're just going to be seeing this. Where's the other medevac units? There they are, sorry. Coming in just as I looked away. So the other medevac units coming in and just going to be getting ready to go again from Polt. I mean, pushing here. He's kind of losing his timing on the rocks, but either way, we're going to see two more medevacs also coming out onto the map. So lots of action happening. We're going to see mutilating gameplay here, which is something we don't see too often nowadays in the TvZ, but it is on this map generally. It seems to be kind of considered the better way to play just because it's a larger map, so many counter-attacks available and so on. We'll see another Overlord going down here. Maybe one more scan for the last Crypt Tumor as we see medevacs will have to get out of there very swiftly because of the Queens which are advancing towards them. And we'll just be seeing Polt continuing to pull up towards the top side of the map. Feeling's going to pull down to the bottom left side. One of the Queens does manage to take down that medevac which was low on health here previously. As Polt, well, looking to deny a fourth base, but guess what? It's just not there yet. And so he'll come in and instead he'll just look for a little bit of creep spread clearing, most likely. Some Lings counter-attacking, doing a little pretty of a good job, forcing a cancel on a couple of barracks which are being built up here. So that medevac to the left-hand side as well as Polt just going to set up the Widow Mines and just stop his opponent from attacking in towards this right-hand location, towards the fourth base, anytime soon. The fourth base is actually going to get taken to the left though, so I think we're going to go for a bit of an interesting kind of expansion pattern here in this game. You'll see the Widow Mine, oh my god, Zerglings going bye-bye. 10 Lings being killed there just from that one Widow Mine. This next Widow Mine doesn't go off just yet. Nice unburrow and reburrow. As we see a little bit of a lift up. One more Widow Mine unfortunately only goes off on a couple of Lings to the side rather than the big pack in the center, as we'll see now. Polt will also go up the left hand side. He'll attack on in here and look to try and take down this hatchery. This hatchery is well, going to start falling very, very quickly right now. Quarter health and 0 health. No cancel either, even though Xigua seemed to have that selected there at the end. So missing the cancel, a little bit of a mistake. Losing a Queen to the right hand side as well. Also a few more Creep Tumors. Polt continuing to control the map right now. And that's what this build order is so good at. You get so many medevacs and so many units out early that you just begin to control the map. You control where your opponent goes, you control what your opponent gets up to. Mir's now coming out may very well stop a lot of these medevacs from being quite so aggressive. But still, I mean, Polt just with 3 bases up will add on a turret or 2 to defend his bases and just going to keep on building kind of Marine Marauder mine. Quadruple M play coming in here from Polt. He's 20 supply ahead, and considering his Ling Bane Muta and he's 20 supply ahead, I think Polt's going to be having a pretty good time here right now. As we see, he's going to go back up towards the upper right as this medevac tries to get away. Will survive actually with the units inside as well. Polt actually with his entire army starting to head towards the top right hand side of the map, so just going to be continuing to set up in this sort of direction as we see. Well, Xigua sort of pulling back into this direction too. A few Banelians immediately was on to take some damage. Nice little split from Polt to minimize the damage here. And well, now there's only one Bane left with this little clump, and it's going to go down without connecting on anything. And a lot of units from Xigua are currently down to the bottom left hand side, out of position. As Polt pushes up here, he's going to put himself into a very, very good position to keep on pushing forward. As we can see the Lings, Muta's coming in over here. The Widow Mines though going to go off to help clean this up. Muta's not going to do too much with enough Marines back at home as well. And I'm surprised Polt isn't pushing in at the same time as this, you know, we're pushing in and taking advantage of the fact that, hey, you know what, you're inside a position, maybe just waiting for 2-2 upgrades before he attacks, which is probably, would make a lot of sense. You can see this Caribbeans coming up the ramp, and just going to start cleaning out a few overlords or so. Lings and Banes running forwards, and just going to be seeing a few units kind of just splitting away. So a lot of Ling Banes starting to fall, and just going to be seeing the units continuing to drop down. Just going to be seeing the Queen going down as well. I mean, that's just going to be the fight which Polt needs. Wait for his 2-2. Very well timed. Just knew he had an upgrade, set of upgrades coming into Bly already. So we'll see if he sticks with that or goes back to what he was doing against Bly, afraid of some potential early aggression here. See what happens. As to the bottom right hand side of the map, our blue Terran player from Envious is Polt. Top left hand side, our red Zerg from Invictus Gaming. Can he pull this back? It is Xigua. He 2-0'd Bly, he 2-1'd Yishi at the start of the day. Can he take us into a third game against Polt right now? A win for Polt means no more games, I guess. Nope, there's definitely going to be the next series as well, because Polt will only be 2-0, Xigua will be 2-1, and Yishi will be 1-1. So we have to play the final series as well. So we still have one more series coming up after this, no matter what happens right now. As we do see Overlord from Xigua just starting to move out onto the map. You can see Rax Gas coming in from Polt, just setting up very standard then himself again, not really looking to be anything too surprising right from the get-go here. So setting up into this, and yeah. I'm just still waiting to see sort of what the build order from Polt is going to be. I mean, we can talk a bit about King Sejong. I mean, the natural expansion can be somewhat annoying because of these rocks. A lot of people just know to take them down early, though. With the extra Queen range, actually, the kind of power of the tanks down on the low ground here with these rocks is not as potent anymore, so it's actually kind of fixed them up a little bit for TvZ. As we'll see the expansion coming down. Reaper expand from Polt. Not sure what he was he Reaper expanding earlier? Was he? I think he was actually going for reactor expands earlier against Bly. Again, just another difference in the build. This time it is once more going to be the second Rax coming down. So he's again going to go for the exact same build for the second time in a row. And, I mean, it worked well for him in the first game. He harassed well. He played out well. I mean, you see these players using these builds, and they're just so good at being around the map, dropping in the right locations, that sort of stuff. Always good as we see this Reaper continue coming towards the top left to obviously pick up some information here earlier. Now I think about it, I actually think Polt did go Reaper against Bly on New Gettysburg at least. Game 1, Dassland Station, I think he went Reactor first, so just mixing up his builds in general, as we see. Again, this double Rax play will be kind of a repeated build here. There's the factory, and there should just be a tech lab coming down now as well. And these guys works onto gas, a little bit of a mistake he might be making here if he doesn't remember to do that. That's the sort of thing I forget to do when I try and do this build order. And you try and start stim. This stim starts okay, but then you find yourself waiting forever to start the starport. Or maybe Polt has just got timed out correctly, so it's all going to work out just as he wants it to. We will see. 2 more queens on the way, as already you can see that Xigua is appreciating the fact that this is going to be a scary position down on this low ground. If he lets it become a scary position by not taking down the rocks, to start to target those down. And this Overlord coming out onto the map as well from Xigua. So just moving out with this Overlord. We're going to see again 20 lings going to be popping out and heading towards those rocks in just a few moments' time. And then again, another creep tumor just going to be popping in here. And a few lings from Xigua still just moving around themselves to see what else is going to be happening. He's actually making a lot of lings here, so maybe looking to counterattack while, exactly when Polt sort of lifts up to come across the map. Or just to attack right now even, because I mean, he's coming across the map with a hell of a lot of Zerglings. And I mean, this is way before Polt's going to lift and leave with these units, so I love what Polt's doing. He's already just sat up on the high ground, so he's actually already in a nice little choke put up position to minimize the effect of these lings. I like this, though he's baiting Polt down to the low ground here, and Polt has to try and very quickly respond to this. These Zerglings are going to come in. They're going to kill a lot of Marines right away here. Polt continues to try and loop around, but there's a nice little bait from Xigua sending just 2 Zerglings forwards, then sending the rest of the Zerglings in. I'm just going to be seeing multiple SCVs going down here. 9 workers killed, and Xigua is going to be right away going into a very strong position. So Xigua looking very good right now. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of evolution chambers being added on back at home from Xigua as well. And we're all going to see more Marines collecting together. We're going to see those 2 medevacs going to be popping out shortly, but how effective are they going to be with so many Marines having been lost here? Gotta remember that Xigua did kind of cut a lot of workers to make that happen, so Polt comes out of this 9 workers behind. It's not the end of the world. Obviously he was at bigger deficits against Bly during his series, or during New Gettysburg, so see what happens here. Widowmine will come out and join. It looks as though that Widowmine will probably should go into the Medivacs if he wants to go and drop across the map. Might be afraid because there's so many Zerglings on the map. He might be actually afraid to just load up and just go across the map with that drop, you know. So something you might try and be careful of. Thank you very much, Anton Caridian, for the 7-month resub. Can we get some SJ hearts in the chat, please, for Anton Caridian? And his 7 months of support here on the channel. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, buddy. How are you doing today? As Polt starts up the combat shields. 1-1 upgrades as well from Xigua now. What's Polt's follow-up to this? Another Widow Mine, more Medivacs? Looks like he's just going to queue for kind of the same again. Keep on being aggressive. His lack of economy because of the workers' loss is going to mean that he isn't immediately going to start building towards a... kind of double engineer bay as early as he did last game, which is definitely going to give Xigua a little bit of an advantage. We see these Medivacs going to lift and leave. Oh, the Widowmine going off on just one Zergling there. Medivacs getting a little bit low. We'll see maybe reinforcement Medivacs coming across the map soon to help this out, but there's so many queens and, well, Polt, he loads them up. He's going to go. Looks as though he'll split them up in terms of directions in which they'll approach from. So Polt really just kind of sat here on 2 racks and not really much else. Just continuing to well, look to be aggressive. I mean, no engineering bays or anything, so I'm not sure what Polt's plan is in this game. Maybe he adds on just 1 engineering bay, goes up to 5 racks, and just stays on 2 bases for a much longer time than you usually expect. We see Marines just got to unload in towards the natural expansion. They're going to start getting some damage to themselves. I mean, 4 or 5 workers killed. We see some Zerglings running in, and the Zerglings are not doing very much here straight away. Widowmine, oh, what a pickup by Polt. Picks up the perfect timing to stop that from doing too much here. There's them Queens, though. They'll start to target the Medivacs. That's why the Marines start to move in front. And at the same time, the 3rd base is going to go down from Xigua. Oh my god, Xigua. He puts himself into such a good position, but then Polt is just so good and just finds a way to fight back. 11 workers now killed. The 3rd base goes down. And Polt is just laughing. I mean, he's just having the time of his life. Even when things go wrong for him, he makes the moves that bring him back into the game. He needs to make sure he keeps up his money. Stacking up quite highly right now. He needs to try and make sure he keeps that low. As we're going to be seeing those Medivacs coming back towards the center of the map. We're going to see those Marines unloading, just going to work their way against that Overlord. So we've seen that Overlord getting picked off there pretty swiftly as we see Marines coming down towards this Overlord as well. So just getting rid of those. And I mean, Xigua is in so much trouble. He's lost the 3rd base. And he's still 14 workers ahead. Polt now starts double engineering bay. He now starts his 3rd CC. Polt just joins up his entire army and just attacks. He is just going to destroy Xigua, because Xigua for so long he has just been reliant on Ling Queen. As more Medivacs come out, as the Marine count gets higher, Ling Queen does not cut it at all anymore. So this is not looking pretty right now, as we see the Marines out towards the front, going to stem forwards and sort of clean up a little bit of the creep spread. So scan comes down, a lot of the creep being cleaned out here already. A few more creep tumors and 1 more tumor up on the high ground. We're going to see that Sport Caller being targeted as well. Until the Queens keep on transfusing it, although only 1 transfuse comes in before he backs away. Polt lifts again into those Medivacs and again finds himself backing away from this army, having traded somewhat decently. The 3rd base now about to finish. He's still behind in workers. The 3rd base coming up from Xigua. Behind in workers, economy is for now even, but as the 3rd base comes back up, Xigua should take a lead in that income tab until Polt lands his own 3rd base and really mules himself and SCVs up a little bit. You're going to be seeing Polt pulling back, then Bangley's up dangerously close, pulling back into a Widowmine or 2. Turns around, fights once again here. Another Queen is about to go down. Hits a little bit of area without creeping. That will be the end of that Queen. Queen's over the right hand side now. Are going to start going down as well. Xigua needs to start doing some transfusing. Medivacs will start to be targeted down. Pulled back once again though by Polt as he continues to target these Queens. 1 Queen left with energy on it. It goes down now as well. And more drones will go down in towards the 3rd base. Still Polt ready to hit from the left hand side also. He just doesn't stop. And that's the problem here for Xigua. He just cannot keep up with how Polt is playing right now. As Marines go in towards this natural again. He's going to kill off an extractor. Probably not what he really wants. Probably wants some drones. The more drones he kills, the better. Still a 15-20 worker lead for Xigua. And that worker lead is something Polt still isn't really doing much about. Why is he not making any SCVs? I mean, I understand he's somewhat kind of saturated now, but he's got a 3rd base to move in towards, you know? Oh, that Widowmine is going to go off on not too many Zerglings there. Was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Polt seems to be kind of just slacking on his production here and there, and again, especially his SCV production. I don't understand why he's still not making extra SCVs to begin saturating a 3rd base. It's almost though in some ways he sort of forgot that he has a 3rd base ready to go very soon. 2 more racks coming down again. Him definitely, I mean, obviously only having 2 racks doesn't help, but for a long time here. But you can see this. I mean, he's going up into his 3rd, 4th, and 5th racks are only just now getting reactors, and yet the Ultra Cavern is coming down for Xigua. So you look at this and you have to admit that Polt has been doing a good job, but has he just been overcommitting to this? Has he been doing a good job but needed to kind of move into something else a little bit sooner? Because now Adrenal Glands on the way, Ultras are going to be coming out. Polt is nowhere near ready to start making anti-Ultra army, is he? Well, maybe. I mean, we see a couple of Liberators actually already beginning to build. 4th base going to start taking some damage here as we see Banelin's going to get pretty good connections towards the front. A few more reinforcements coming in. Still Widowmines to back this position up though. And again, Polt not paying attention here as the Widowmines start to go off. You have a couple of Widowmines and a couple of Lings. There is a drop to the top right side. Polt going to use this to try and hit that 3rd base once again. As those Zerglings just positioned down towards the 3rd. I'm just going to be seeing the 3rd. Had to be lifted there momentarily again. Polt, for some reason, just seems to be a little bit distracted here in game number 2. He's not really seemed to be playing at the top of his game any longer. As we're going to be seeing the... you know, he's just not really kind of playing as quickly as he was before. So let's see those 3 Marines just out to the top side, ready to run on in here in the next few moments, and we're going to see what they can get up to. Another Widowmine with Burrow over here goes down if we're going to do too much. Another Widowmine though does pretty good. But this time avoids the Widowmine, the Balin connections, which he's been, again, not having the best of time against recently. Currently 1-1 against 2-2, behind in upgrades and also about to face Adrenal Glands and Ultralisk hitting the map. I think Xigua might actually have this one here. In the end, I mean, it looked as though he did enough damage early, and then Polt definitely was bringing it back, but now Polt is, I think, really hurting. I think he doesn't have a way to deal with the Ultras, and I think that's going to become his major issue. He's got more Liberators on the way up, but SCV's dropping here as well. Mules as well, a lot of fresh mules starting to drop on this 3rd base as the Zerglings run on by, and, well, we just see again, this kind of Ultra Force starting to come up. We don't yet see the, Kindness Plate finish, so the Ultras are somewhat killable. Kindness Plate finishes, and now all of a sudden the Ultras will not take any damage at all. Especially being a Carapace upgrade ahead of the missile upgrades on the Terran player. As we're going to be seeing a few more SCVs going down. And Marine Marauder continuing to just set up over here. As we're going to see, again, Zerglings running by in towards the 3rd base. More Marine Marauder doing a little bit more damage and just cleaning up a little bit more of this. I'm just going to be seeing Liberators continuing to push forwards and sort of set up as we're going to see. I mean, Polt's still just trying to make something happen. He's still only 10 army supply behind and his upgrades have evened up, but surely there's not a way he can fight against these Ultras. Surely he can't make this work. His work count is still so low, 31 to 59 after losing so many here previously. I'm just going to be seeing a few Marines and Marauders coming forwards again. Just going to see a scan and Group Tumor going down. Lingus Banes, a couple more Corruptors on the way out from Xigua. As we're going to be seeing this base to the left-hand side continue to take damage. We see more Lings coming through the center of the map here. Again, counterattacking. Counterattacking all game long has been the aim of the game from Xigua, and it has been basically what's won him this game for the most part. Again, SCVs and Mules going down the 3rd. No protection here from Polt, not a single bunker or anything. As we're going to be seeing this army continue to set up towards the upper left. We're going to be seeing these Marines are going to be starting to work their way through a base to the right-hand side. And again, another drop. Polt, again, a little bit distracted elsewhere, though, and so loses a lot of those Marines, unfortunately, very, very quickly. As we're going to be seeing the few more Corruptors on the way up, a couple more Liberators, too. I mean, he's still holding, you know, using this sort of stronghold position with the Liberators to keep on falling back towards, and I mean, well, here come the Corruptors, and that's definitely going to change things a little bit here. Widowmine's starting to go off, and this time we're going to see a commitment forwards. The Liberator's still around, though, and actually he's going to start fighting into the bio with the Liberator still up. And actually, Polt is going to take a fight here, which is going to push Xigua back. So, Xigua going to be pushed back, and actually, with more Liberators sieging up here further forwards, maybe Polt picks off this base. A couple of them Ultras are very low on health, and Widowmine's going to burrow here as well. A couple of Balins are coming on in. Polt stands in a Balin shot, though. And he's at the same time still dealing with run-bys on the other side of the map. This time we see Corruptors coming in. They're starting to work their way through the Liberators, but Marines will respond. Polt is just running out of money, though. He's running out of stuff to actually kind of keep on fighting with. So even though he's gone to a good position over here, I just don't think it'll be enough towards the very end. Lings run in. The Corruptors will continue to clean on up. Xigua keeps on trying to fight. As he comes in, he's going to get rid of another Liberator or two. Medivacs continue to take damage. Polt will finish off this base with the last few Marauders. Medivac to the right-hand side, though, has been unsuccessful in killing that base off. See Widowmines going off onto the Ultra. Quite a bit of damage done there. More Ultras on the way out. Polt, if he just found a way to deny a lot of these... if he just found a way to deal with a lot of a lot of these run-bys, he would have been in such a different position, but instead he didn't set up the bunker, he's not left any units at home to deal with them time after time, and it really just has been the bane of his existence in this game. You see, oh, those Widowmines just getting cleaned up before they come off cooldown there and go for a big bit of damage. Just going to be seeing the Marines, Widowmines, Liberators, Medevacs joining together once again here. Polt still trying to fight this as we see a Medevac will load up, go towards the right-hand side of the map here right away. You'll see Lingbane, Ultra Corruptor coming down the left-hand side as well. You'll see some Marines stimming forwards, Liberators coming in as well. They're going to start sieging up. He knows he needs them to siege. The Corruptors will start to back away once more. Another drop to the top side as he looks to try and deny mining from this base over here. He'll probably try and do it from the high ground. But then Ultra already up to that high ground. Xigua again ready to defend this. And guess what? Zerglin's in the third base once again. How many times have we seen this? As we're going to be seeing a few more units just going down. A few Widowmines picking up kills and Liberator count still being damaged here or there. Polt still has this drop to the top right, which he can try and utilize. We're going to be seeing this orbital. We'll be looking to see what we can get up to. Some units stimming forwards once again. Xigua, if Infestor's now on the way, maybe that's what he needs just to try and end this game finally. Zerglin's again on the run by, hitting that third base once more. How many times has that been? I don't even know. As we're going to be seeing the Marines pushing forwards once again here. Again, trying to keep on trading against this. Going to be running in, trying to fight against the Corruptor. We're going to see the Marines will begin to just run backwards. And, well, again, just going to get back towards his stronghold. Polt is still only 10 army supply behind, which sounds ridiculous, but okay, he's actually going to GG out. I mean, different possibilities when it becomes a little bit more simple to figure out, basically. As we go into game number 3 of this, we're going to kick things off with the red Terran player to the bottom left-hand side of Galactic Process. I see it, guys. If you're cheering on, Polt. And to the top right-hand side, it's going to be our blue Zerg player. It's going to be Invictus Gaming Xigua. Still can't quite understand why Polt never built those SCVs. I mean, he was on 39 workers. He just never built more SCVs despite having a third base. He just cut worker production for 2-3 minutes in the game. And I really feel as though there's no need for that because he was floating so much money anyways. So I think a few mistakes from Polt towards the end of that. And he definitely looked to be a bit of a different player. He wasn't in God mode for a while during that last game. He was letting his drops be cleaned up by Balins very easily, even though there wasn't really too much else going on. And just little things like that, which we haven't been seeing from Polt today. We've been seeing him playing fantastically throughout, so we're not going to be seeing him this time around. He's going to go for 2 racks early, and it looks as though he'll play a 3 racks Reaper opening here against Xigua. No third racks just yet, though, to be fair, but I'll come down in a moment. So it is going to be a 3 racks Reaper opening right now out of our Terran players. So this is something which is quite popular on this map. It's actually more popular to do it with the wall off down here. So racks, racks, racks. And that actually allows you to kind of set up in a situation where you're completely walled off. So your natural can be taken freely. Your third base can be taken freely without any worry of any sort of run by or anything. I'm just going to be seeing this Overlord coming across the map right now from Xigua. I'm just going to be looking to scout here early. He actually goes, wow, for a very fast third hatchery. That's not going to be good for him at all. He's got no gas to work with here. And so this is going to be Xigua hitting a bit of a build order loss right from the get-go. I mean, no gas. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for him to kind of deal with these Reapers early in the game. He's not going to have link speed for a long time. He won't have growth production for a long time. As we're just going to be seeing this Reaper starting to move towards the upper right-hand side, looking to get some damage done in the next few moments. So Reaper heading up towards the top right-hand side, and we'll see a few more Reapers on the way in production as well. Obviously, the first Reaper doesn't mean very much for Xigua. He sees the first Reaper, he's like, okay, cool. But you can see he's still playing Gaster, so he's going to play Queen Heavy. And that just shouldn't work against 3-Axe Reaper. This should just be Polt just going to end up doing so much damage here, as he already is picking away at a good number of Zerglings here. And there's that Queen popping out now. So Queen does pop out, but there's the second Reaper. And now Xigua is going to be like, oh crap, how did I fight against this with only Queens and Slowlings? It is not going to be pretty. I think taking gas almost immediately is something he has to do. I don't know, Spinecrawl, I mean, that's also a good way to maybe start making this work. You can see the Reapers, though, will just kind of, well, a lot of the time, we'll just avoid that Spinecrawl. Could even just grenade it down to very low health. Nice micro back by Polt there. Getting rid of, making sure he's not going to lose a Reaper. That was a little bit late on the Reaper pullback, though. So that was a little bit of a mistake. He pulls forward, high health Reaper, low health Reaper, sorry, but I'm a little bit worried. Polt is, getting very low with these Reapers, and it's scaring me a little bit, so let's see what else will happen. That Spineclaw still alive feels maybe started trying again. I really feel as though his answer to this Spineclaw is just a grenade. Oh my god, so much lava just gets popped by those grenades though. And that's a big loss. I mean, it is free base though, so lava shouldn't be too much of an issue, but if he is missing ninjets, then maybe it will be. As we see Polt just continue to make Reapers, building up his third CC in position. Polt has indeed not seen actually the third base just yet, so he doesn't know about that. As we see the Spineclaw moving forwards, and there's the grenades just going to start coming down, and Spineclaw actually begins kiting backwards. You can just see the spine, how much damage it's taken here, and that's why the spine is not necessarily the best of things to have against the 3-Rax Reaper opening. Another Reaper goes down though. Polt's still not microing to the best of his ability. I know he isn't here. And that's definitely a little bit of a shame. But Morling's going down too. Still no gas at all from Xigua. As he starts up another Spine Crawler. And well, he's going to start losing queens in a moment because he doesn't have any transfusers left. Another queen pops out. But just as 2 queens are about to go down. Oh, clutch transfuse there coming in at the perfect timing. Another Reaper though. And as more Reapers go down, Xigua starts to kind of stabilize against what is the snowball effect of 3-Rax Reaper. Lingers continue to take damage. 2 queens still so low. I understand why Polt's so committed, because he wants to get those low health queens, because getting rid of those is going to be huge for him, but he's just going to keep on fighting. Oh, this time he pulls the Reapers back just in time again. 1 queen here about to get the energy for transfuse, and we'll just keep hold of it for now. Polt goes towards the third base. Realized how many queens there are. I was like, well, surely not. Only 2 bases here, so he's going to start working his way against this grenade, and Reapers will successfully kill that off there. The drone's going to go down in this direction as well. That's going to be getting rid of a good chunk of Xigua's work. Is actually putting the work count just in a lead now for Polt. You see the queen's out of position off creep. That's not good for Xigua at all. They should not be out here. And so the queen's going to go down very swiftly. Reaper's taking advantage of that. And that's going to be GG right there as those queens go down. That is going to be Polt taking the 2-1 victory here in this